we've got to give credit to Gareth Southgate, haven't we, Philippe? I mean, he ignored the noise that he never really listens to and the clamour for whoever should play or not, and he went with his own thoughts and he got it spot on.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, the big call was probably Saka instead of Rashford. So I think Phil Foden probably had nailed his place in the starting lineup. Bellingham had to be in there, and heavens, oh, thank heavens he was there, because what a beautiful thing it is to see Jude Bellingham on a football pitch. Even Barry would agree with that. I can see him grinning in the background. It is Barry. Come on, I know, admit it. Admit to it.
He was brilliant, and he seems like a really, really nice, very mature young man. I mean, I remember when I was 19, I was a complete dickhead. Many would argue with some.
Yes, I mean, so that's an open goal there, Barry.
Yes. That I still am, but he just seems great. He's a lovely, lovely bloke.
It's watching Jude Bellingham like it was watching Gazza in Italia 90. And I thought it's different because Bellingham, I think, if he stays fit, will have a much better career probably than Gazza. But Gazza had something completely different about him as a footballer. And I think Bellingham is such an incredible talent. I don't know, maybe it's just I was younger and I didn't have anything, I had no worries and no cares. But there was something about the way Gazza played football that it was like pure attacking. There was no sort of sensible hard work that Bellingham does. It was just all joy. I don't know if anyone agrees or disagrees with me on that.
It's an interesting question, and it's not something that had ever even crossed my mind until it was asked. Obviously, I don't see a huge amount of Jude Bellingham because I don't watch the Bundesliga, so my exposure to him is pretty limited to Champions League and internationals. Even just thinking that the way they run is completely different. I'd be loath to say who's better, and obviously Bellingham is very young, but it's an interesting question and one to which I do not have an answer.
No, evidently, yes, Mark.
I think with Gazza there was this doubt about whether he would start, wasn't there? There were more senior players potentially ahead of him at Italia 90, and even though I think he would have been older than Bellingham, he kind of had that daftness that sort of made him feel like he was about 16. And Bellingham, on the other hand, is a 19-year-old playing as if he's 27 and like actually one of the leaders of the team. During the goal celebrations, he's kind of bossing people around, and he's captain Borussia Dortmund, and I think he feels like a very different character to Gascoigne. So maybe it's hard to make the comparisons. Where I think you could make that comparison is just in talent. I mean, Gazza was until his injury is very special, and Bellingham, as long as he doesn't sort of go down the wrong path, I mean, he's going to become I think in England great. I mean, he's somebody that I've no idea how much he's going to cost when Borussia Dortmund sell him, but if you were trying to build like the perfect central midfielder, he'd have a lot of what you would be looking for. He's a special talent.
Yes, what Borussia Dortmund are going to ask for him, and which unfortunately Arsenal FC are never going to pay them for. Two things. The first thing is that it proves again how England is benefiting from its younger players from having experience in foreign leagues. He's not the only one. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that we've got to be a bit careful here when you talk about Gazza here, because I think there is a tendency in England to think of players who can be, in a way, make the difference on their own, almost like one of the Rovers. And it's something that you could see that happened with Steven Gerrard, for example, with Wayne Rooney, Paul Gascoigne, certainly.
Hoddle.
I do think, I think he's in a different mold. To me, he looks like the player that we all hoped Brian Robson would be for England. And he looks to me to be that player already at the age of 19. He's prodigious. He's a player. I mean, when I'm talking to my French friends or Italian friends or Spanish friends, they all say, "Oh, Jude Bellingham, wow, what a player. Extraordinary, extraordinary." He's unique. He's already, at his age, one of the very best midfielders on the planet. Now, he might not be the player who transforms, the kind of alchemist that transforms England into a World Cup winner, and that would be a mistake, but you've got an absolute treasure there.